Internet news with no filter. Welcome to News Sesh. Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're diving into a really important topic. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into something that's been getting a lot of buzz, Haley Pham's debut novel, Just Friends. Now, Haley Pham isn't just any author. She's a YouTuber, BookTuber, and digital creator with a massive following. She's been on the platform since she was a kid, evolving from dance videos and lifestyle vlogs to thoughtful book content and creative commentary. So when she announced she was writing a novel, not a memoir, not a coffee table book, but an actual piece of fiction, people were instantly intrigued. And to be honest, so was I. Her book, Just Friends, is a second-chance romance about two childhood friends, Blair and Declan, who shared a kiss that changed everything. Years later, Blair returns to her hometown and reconnects with Declan, reopening old wounds and unresolved feelings. It's a nostalgic, emotional story told in dual timelines, past and present, mixing youthful innocence with adult reflection. From the start, Haley's fans were all over it. The BookTube and BookTok communities love a heartfelt romance, and the fact that one of their own was publishing made it feel personal. But let's be real. With someone like Haley, who's built an entire brand around relatability and aesthetic storytelling, expectations are sky-high. Her fans know her voice. They know her energy. So this isn't just a debut novel, it's a test of whether her storytelling can stand on its own, outside the YouTube world. In interviews, Haley mentioned that she didn't plan to write a book at first. She started jotting down scenes between videos, and eventually realized she couldn't stop. Writing became something she looked forward to not as a business move, but as an outlet. That sounds sincere, and I believe it. But here's where things get complex. Haley's platform automatically gives her a marketing advantage, built-in sales, guaranteed pre-orders, social media visibility. So while the creative side might be genuine, the commercial side can't be ignored. That's the tension I want to explore in this commentary. Is Just Friends a heartfelt, meaningful debut? Or does it fall into the trap of influencer-authored fiction, where brand recognition overshadows storytelling? Let's start with the positives, because there are quite a few. Number 1, the premise. Second-chance romance is one of the most beloved tropes in the genre for a reason. It taps into that universal feeling of what could have been. There's nostalgia, regret, familiarity, and emotional history built in. If Haley captures that dynamic well, she's already halfway to something deeply relatable. Number 2, dual timelines. The story reportedly jumps between Blair and Declan's past friendship and their adult reconnection. That's an effective structure for exploring character growth. You get to contrast innocence with maturity, youthful mistakes with adult reflection. For a debut, it's ambitious, but if handled correctly, it can be really powerful. Number 3, Haley's voice. One of her biggest strengths as a creator is her ability to connect. On YouTube, she's warm, candid, and emotionally aware. Translating that into fiction could give Just Friends an authentic, conversational tone, the kind that feels like your best friend telling you a story over coffee. Number 4, built-in audience connection. Haley's fans are emotionally invested in her. They've seen her ups and downs, her relationships, her creative growth. Reading her book feels like an extension of that connection, like getting access to another side of her creative mind. That's a massive advantage most debut authors don't have. Number 5, authenticity. From what she's shared, Haley poured herself into this book. She said that writing was both personal and transformative, almost therapeutic. If that emotion translates to the page, it could give the story genuine heart. So, based on early impressions, Just Friends has the potential to be a warm, comforting read with emotional resonance, strong pacing, and familiar themes that speak to Haley's audience. But let's be honest, every coin has two sides. Okay, now we need to talk about the potential pitfalls because, as with most influencer-to-author projects, there are some real risks. First, the use of tropes. The childhood friends reconnecting after years apart storyline is comforting, but also overdone. It's the kind of plot that lives or dies by execution. Without emotional depth or originality, It risks feeling like every other small-town romance on the market. This is where Haley's writing skill will really be tested. Can she make the familiar feel fresh? Can she give us characters who feel lived in, not archetypal? Second, writing quality. Being a great communicator on camera doesn't automatically translate to being a great novelist. Prose is a different medium. Pacing, dialogue, emotional beats, they're learned skills. If her writing leans too heavily on cliché language or simple emotional cues, readers might see it as surface level rather than immersive. Third, audience bias. Haley's fanbase is fiercely loyal. That's not a bad thing, but it means reviews and early buzz might be influenced more by fandom than by literary merit. Some readers will love the book no matter what. Others will critique it harder simply because she's a YouTuber. That divide makes it tough to gauge the book's true quality in its early release phase. Fourth, overexposure. Haley has talked about this book for months, sharing snippets, updates, behind-the-scenes thoughts. That level of transparency is great for community building, but it also risks overselling the final product. When a creator hypes a project too early, audiences sometimes approach it with impossible expectations. Fifth, publishing pressure. Let's not forget, influencer book deals are a publishing goldmine. Publishers know these names sell copies before the book even hits shelves. That pressure can affect creative control. An influencer's debut often becomes a balancing act between art and commerce, satisfying fans, publishers, and their own creative instincts simultaneously. And finally, genre credibility. Influencer-authored books often face skepticism. Readers wonder if the creator wrote it themselves, if it's been heavily ghost-written, or if it's more marketing product than creative expression. That's unfair sometimes, but it's reality. Haley will have to work twice as hard to prove her book is more than a vanity project. So yes, Just Friends could be heartfelt and honest, but it also risks being dismissed if it doesn't rise above the influencer book stereotype. Let's zoom out. Because Haley's book isn't happening in isolation, it's part of a much bigger trend that's reshaping publishing right now. Influencers writing novels is becoming the new normal. BookTok creators, BookTubers, lifestyle vloggers, they're all stepping into the author space. Some succeed wildly. Others crash and burn. So, what's really happening here? 1. Influencers have become publishing's dream clients. They bring built-in audiences, free marketing, and instant sales numbers. From a business standpoint, it makes perfect sense. 2. The lines between art and brand are blurring. When someone like Haley Pham writes a novel, it's not just creative, it's also an extension of her personal brand. Her tone, her visuals, her community all feed into how the book is received. 3. The conversation around credibility. Influencer authors are often judged more harshly than traditional ones. Readers ask, did she actually write it? Is this just to make money? Would this book exist if she didn't already have followers? Those questions hang over every influencer-authored project, fair or not. 4. Accessibility versus gatekeeping. Here's where it gets tricky. On one hand, influencer authors can make reading more accessible to new audiences, people who might never walk into a bookstore otherwise. On the other hand, critics argue that influencer deals take opportunities away from undiscovered writers who don't have millions of followers. It's a tension between democratizing creativity and reinforcing a new kind of exclusivity based on fame. 5. The emotional economy of social media. Creators today trade in emotion, authenticity, relatability, vulnerability. That's what audiences respond to. So when a creator writes fiction, that emotional branding carries over. Readers expect to feel something personal. They expect intimacy. That's part of why Just Friends matters. It's not just a story about two fictional people, it's perceived as a window into who Haley Pham is, or at least who her audience imagines her to be. And whether that's fair or not, it shapes how the book will be received. Alright, after all of this, what's the final take? If you're a fan of Haley Pham, you'll probably enjoy Just Friends. It has her tone, her warmth, and her sense of nostalgia. It's a comforting story that mirrors the emotional openness her viewers love. If you're a romance reader, It might be a cozy addition to your shelf, something to unwind with, something sincere and heart-first. But if you're approaching this as a reader looking for literary innovation, sharp dialogue, or high-concept storytelling, it might not be your favorite. And that's okay. It's not trying to be groundbreaking literature. It's trying to be heartfelt fiction from someone who genuinely loves stories. The real question isn't whether Just Friends is good or bad. It's whether it represents a meaningful moment in this new wave of influencer authorship, where creators aren't just personalities, but evolving storytellers. And on that front, Haley's book does matter, because it shows that young creators are branching out, taking risks, and turning creativity into something tangible. It's part of a bigger cultural shift, one that redefines what it means to be an artist in the digital age. So, should you read it? If you're curious, yes. If you want to support a creator trying something new, definitely yes. Just go in with balanced expectations, not as a critic, not as a fan, but as someone interested in what happens when YouTube meets fiction. Because whether or not you love Just Friends, you can't deny one thing. Haley Pham has started a conversation about art, authenticity, and the future of influencer creativity. And that's worth paying attention to. And that's a wrap, guys. Like if you did, subscribe for more fun. See ya!